Member Calgary Southeast.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As many of us are aware, May is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And the need for that awareness is demonstrated by the fact that while rates of other violent crimes are decreasing, the incidence of sexual assault is on the rise. The statistics show that we are actually failing to address the issue of sexual assault and failing to protect Albertans from these crimes. While this government has made some progress in making civil prosecutions easier and abusive relationships easier to escape, more needs to be done to prevent these crimes from occurring in the first place. To the Justice Minister, what are your plans to address the rising incidence of sexual assault?
Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Our government is proud of our record in dealing with survivors of sexual assault. We've passed Bill 2 quite recently, as the honourable member quite rightly noted, which helps survivors access the justice system. Mr. Speaker, we also think that it's important that survivors know that in a criminal system, when they come to the court, they will be protected. That's why when a judge didn't do that to a survivor of sexual assault, Mr. Speaker, we filed a complaint, and that complaint ultimately resulted in the removal of that judge, Mr. Speaker, because we think that all survivors deserve to be respected.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. First supplemental.
Given that an important aspect of preventing sexual assault is education and awareness, and given that the government can assist by including a greater awareness of gender-based issues when making policy, and given that during the recent Status of Women estimates, the Minister and I discussed the benefits of gender-based analysis plus, to the Deputy Premier, how is your ministry working toward increasing awareness to try to address the rising number of sexual assaults, and how many of your colleagues have you convinced to take the GBA Plus training?
The Honourable Deputy Premier.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And on this side of the House, we do take gender-based violence very seriously and all women's health issues, Mr. Speaker. That's why we're moving forward very carefully to make sure that we have integrated responses to a number of situations, including women's health options, and we're proud to make sure that we're moving forward in that regard, Mr. Speaker, as well as working with health practitioners to ensure that they're well supported in supporting those who have survived sexual assault as well, Mr. Speaker.
Second supplemental.
Given that as elected representatives we can be powerful voices for bringing attention to the issues when we have the right educational resources, and given that the Legislature's long tradition of inviting groups to the lower rotunda to share information with members, and given that such a presentation would only be an introduction to this complex topic, but it would still help all members better advocate for survivors of sexual assault. To the same minister, will you consider extending an invitation to some of the many organizations doing great work around educating about sexual assault to the Legislature?
Deputy Premier.
Absolutely, Mr. Speaker. We are always interested in making sure that we have opportunities to support a variety of opportunities for education, regularly bringing in colleges of professional associations to share information about the work they do. Perhaps we'll reach out to the College of Social Workers or others who are directly involved often in supporting survivors and making sure that they have the supports that they require. There's also extensive supports online for anyone who's available so that they don't have to wait for that to be arranged, but we'd be happy to email that information to the offices of all MLA so that they can continue to inform themselves about the supports that are available.